North Korea took an American holiday as an occasion to antagonize us and send a very vulgar message in the process. And of concern, of course, is the fact that we are being told we're seeing a new intercontinental ballistic missile launch for the first time, a new missile that we haven't seen before from the North Koreans. So what should we do?
I mean, it shouldn't be a big surprise. They've been working towards this, and they can continue to work now to getting a nuclear weapon small enough, to improving the missile and getting a nuclear weapon small enough for it. I was emailing with a couple of friends who were foreign policy experts this morning, and one of them said, I said, is there anything we can do about this? And they said, yeah, maybe, and we'll get back to that in a second. But he said, but look, if we let things go the way they're going, welcome to the world of the future. You know, every crackpot state with access to technology, God knows where they're getting this. They've gotten stuff from the past, from China, Pakistan, probably from Iran.
Right.
To do some of it on their own. You can't really keep the science within borders, obviously, with nuclear potential, and God knows where that ends up. So I think it really makes the case, honestly, for the foreign policy I've long believed in, a strong America willing to throw its weight around, stop this kind of thing from happening before it gets out of hand. Now, of course, it's a tough situation. People of both parties have kind of fallen down on this. No one wants to make the tough decisions. Understandably, it's risky to stop this, and then you end up letting it keep going. I think Trump's instincts, I'm not a big fan of Trump, as you may have noticed over the last few months, but I'd say his instinct on this is right in the sense of he sees that the policy of the past was a failure. He knows that it was wrong, something went wrong. This is kind of crazy to just let this go. He hoped he could sort of sweet-talk the Chinese into being very helpful. I think he now sees that's probably not happening. So now we're up against it. It's some tough decisions, and, that requires some real military and intelligence sophistication, obviously. But as I say, I sort of give Trump credit for seeing that this is a problem and you can't just go on the way we were.
All right, so, you mentioned the Chinese and Trump tweeting out that trade between North Korea and China has increased this year. So he said something to the effect of, we had to give it a try. So much for China working with us, but we had to give it a try. So let's put that aside. I mean, we keep hearing the military options are limited and not good, but you present a scenario, which I agree with wholeheartedly, and certainly it's not only your scenario, that push has just about come to shove here.
Yeah, I mean, look, military options are tough, but who knows what the cyber options are. If you really say, look, we are just not going to let North Korea move ahead on this, or we're going to sabotage, or we're going to disrupt their electric grid. Now, can they do things in response to that, just like they could in response to bombing? Sure, but, let's also make clear to them that their regime is finished. If they do stuff, I mean, I think we still have a lot of leverage over a country like North Korea, but you got to be willing to sort of say we're willing to run some risks. The South Koreans will get nervous, understandably, but I mean, I think that would be one way to go. Maybe more pressure on the Chinese could pressure them to do something. We've only really asked them nicely so far. We certainly haven't really threatened any retaliation in terms of trade. I'm not sure that would work, honestly, though. So I guess, I come back to sort of, we're a bigger and stronger country than North Korea, and nothing is without risk, but you just can't let it go ahead. That doesn't mean we have to have some massive showy bombing attack. There's a lot we can do probably covertly. Maybe we're doing a lot that we don't talk about, and let's hope so. But what would be more comforting if these things were blowing up on the launch pad instead of being launched 475 miles.